it's Ellie Lou again, and for this video I'm going to be reviewing this other book by Ian Redpath, Clever Isabella and the Time Machine. Ooh. So, it's your first time hearing it, but it's also my first time reading it. So, none of us know what we're letting ourselves into. So, we're going into the unknown now. Okay. Here we go. Isabella was a clever girl with ginger hair and glasses. She never missed a day at school and was top in all of her classes. She was fascinated with the universe and was the biggest science fanatic. She spent her time reading books on Einstein and inventing things up in the attic. She put her dolls to one side when she got a chemistry set. When she reached the age of 7, to be surrounded by test tubes and Bunsen burners was Isabella's idea of heaven. On a rainy afternoon in the middle of June, 3 days before she would turn 13, after so many tries, it was a lovely surprise when she invented the world's first time machine. It was made from scrap metal and parts of computer and was powered by cheap fizzy pop. She had crates by the truckload in the back garden, supplied from her uncle's sweet shop. With her hair up in bunches, she was feeling excited, and on her face was a big cheesy grin. She entered the day on the time machine's display, then started the engine to give it a spin. It whizzed and it fizzed, it crashed and it boomed, then disappeared through a hole in the floor. The time machine reappeared millions of years in the past, where Isabella was greeted by a dinosaur. Isabella recognised it as a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It looked angry with its big, sharp, pointy teeth. She quickly jumped out and took a selfie on her phone, trying not to cause the dinosaur grief. She jumped into the time machine as quickly as she could, but the Tyrannosaurus Rex moved very fast. It swallowed down the time machine, with Isabella stuck inside, and she thought this time travel trick could be her last. Inside the dinosaur's belly, it was extremely smelly, and clever Isabella felt like such a twerp. She came up with a bright idea to pour fizzy pop out of the window, just enough to make the dinosaur belch and burp. Go Isabella. The dinosaur's belly started to rumble like rolling thunder, and it opened up its mouth with a burp and a roar. The time machine came flying out of the dinosaur's big mouth into a hole upon the grassy floor. The next stop for the time machine was in ancient Egyptian times, where Isabella watched them building pyramids. After taking lots of photos, she zipped into the future to see how her parents were when they were kids. Isabella's jaw dropped straight to the floor, and she could not believe her bright green eyes. Her parents said to her they were well behaved as children. To see them be naughty was a funny surprise. Isabella hopped back into the past and saw the apple fall on Isaac Newton's head. She met her hero, Albert Einstein, when he was hanging out his washing, but she couldn't understand a word he said. She saw England win the World Cup in 1966 and was in the crowd when Queen Victoria took the throne. She was on the ship when Christopher Columbus found America, and that's where Isabella lost her mobile phone. As upset as she was by all the photos that were lost, the time machine was running low on fizzy pop. Isabella calculated she had enough for 2 more journeys before her time-travelling hopping came to a stop. Isabella started up the engine of the time machine and entered a year on the display. She wanted to see what life was like 200 years in the future, to see if the grown-ups worked and what games children play. A hole opened up on the deck of the ship and the time machine dropped straight through. It reappeared in the future in a city of clouds. Isabella stepped outside to get a better view. Buildings were so tall, they stretched up to the edge of space, and lasers painted pictures in the sky. Silver bubbles full of people floating through the city were so pretty and so pleasing to the eye. Isabella shook her head in disbelief, and in that moment she felt so happy she could have cried. She saw aliens and humans living in harmony, working and playing together side by side. She wished she still had her mobile phone to take photos of her journey, but the memories would live forever in her mind. There was just enough fizzy pop left for one more trip, so she jumped into the time machine to leave the future far behind. Isabella's time machine reappeared inside the attic with a crash, a bang, a wallop and a boom. "Isabella, Isabella, please keep down the noise," her father shouted from the living room. At the kitchen table, they sat down for their dinner. There was Isabella with her mum and dad. It made Isabella laugh when her mother said, "As kids, you, Dad and I were never bad." Later in the evening, the home phone started ringing. Isabella's dad picked up the phone. With an angry voice, he said, "This guy thinks he's Christopher Columbus. I wish these pranksters would just leave us alone." At the least, the mystery of their lost phone had been solved. It was with Christopher Columbus in the past. She returned up to the attic to work on her next invention. She thought to travel in space would be a blast. The end. So I thought this book, again, was great. I especially like the selfie with the dinosaur, because who wouldn't want a selfie with a dinosaur? I mean, yeah. And she had the fizzy pop to get her back out. It's alright. So just bring fizzy pop with you. And I just thought it had humour in parts. It definitely had humour in parts from what I saw. So this guy thinks he's Christopher Columbus. I thought that was quite funny, to be honest. I don't know about you. So this is another one of my favourite books now. And I've only just read it today and I already think it's another one of my favourites. So what do you guys think? What do you prefer, this one or the Billy B, Born with No Stripes one? I like this one. So, yeah, once again, comment what you thought down below. Give it your own little review. And go check out this dude's channel. That will be down below as well. So, bye-bye.